Welcome to BTEC Revision. In today's lesson, we're looking at current, and by the end, we should be able to calculate the current, charge, or time in a circuit. What is current? Current is the rate of flow of charge in a given time, and can be calculated using the equation current equals charge divided by time. The short form is I equals Q over T, where I stands for current, Q stands for charge, and T stands for time. The units are amps for current, or amperes, and charge is measured in coulombs, C, and time is measured in seconds. What is charge? Charge is a property of protons and electrons, where if you remember from GCSEs, protons have a charge of +1 and electrons have a charge of -1. The diagram on the left side here is an example. The diagram here on the left is representing a typical circuit. You can see we have a cell which has a positive and negative charge. And coming out, these yellow balls are representing charges, which could be electrons, protons, or ions. In this case, we'll have electrons. They are coming out from the negative side, going all the way around and back into the positive side. This is because opposite charges attract. A long time ago, scientists did not realize the direction of current. Should it go from negative to positive or positive to negative? And they chose the wrong way around, which is positive to negative. And now this is known as conventional current. We actually know that the current goes as in the diagram shown, from negative to positive. We can also note that the circuit is making a complete connection, because if it did not, then the charge would not be able to flow. This is known as a closed circuit because all the connections are closed. If there was an open circuit, that would mean there is a gap and the electrons would not be able to flow, and therefore the charge would not be moving. We can also note that the charges are not being used up. The number of charges coming out is equal to the number of charges going in. Now, drawing this diagram on the left is quite complex, so we can use very simple symbols to draw that diagram. For example, the cell here can be represented by these two lines, where one is slightly longer than the other. The longer line represents the positive side, and the shorter represents the negative side. The wires can be represented using lines, straight lines, and in this circuit, we have one extra component, which is a lamp. And you can see the lamp is drawn using a circle with a cross inside. This is the symbol that we can use to draw. These drawings that we draw are called symbols. So this is the symbol for a lamp, and this is the symbol for a cell. On the other side, we have a cell as well, and we have a wire, and these are called components. These are things that we can actually hold. On the other side, on the right side here, these are called symbols, which are the drawings of these components. Now, let's look at an example. A circuit has a current of 2 amps flowing through it for 10 seconds. Determine the total charge that passed through the circuit. We can start by writing down our equation here, which is current equals charge divided by time. Now, we can also write down the values we have. Current equals 2 amps, making sure that the units are correct. So it is in amps. And the time, t, equals 10 seconds. The unit is also correct. Now we need to rearrange this for charge, which is Q. So I'm going to times both sides by T, giving me Q equals 5 values. Current is 2 and time is 10. Multiplying gives me 20 and the unit is coulombs. Now pause the video here and attempt this exam question. A battery supplies a constant current of 3000 milliamps. How much charge does it provide in 2 minutes? The first thing we should do is write down the values that we have. Current equals 3000 milliamps. So we want to change the unit, well, that prefix there, milli, into normal form to give us 3000 times 10 to the power of minus 3. Milli is 10 to the power of minus 3, and that would be in amps. We can simplify that further to give us 3 amps. Okay, so that's the correct unit. Now we can look at time. Time equals 2 minutes, and we want seconds. So that's 2 times 60 seconds in a minute, so that's times 60, which gives us 120 seconds. Now we can write down our equation, which is Q equals I times T, and we can multiply our numbers. So current is 3, and time is 120 seconds, which gives us a value of 360 coulombs. And that's the end of the lesson. If you would like to boost your grades, visit us at btechrevision.com, where there's lots more resources available. See you next lesson.